For decades, eggs have been one of the most controversial foods on Earth. One year, they're called a perfect superfood. The next year, they're blamed for heart disease. Some people eat 6 eggs a day and swear they feel incredible. Others avoid them completely because of cholesterol fears. So what's the truth? Are eggs one of nature's most complete foods? Or a hidden health risk sitting in your refrigerator? Today, we're going beyond myths, headlines, and outdated nutrition advice. We'll break down what eggs actually do inside your body, how they affect cholesterol, whether they increase disease risk, what science says about weight loss, brain health, muscle growth, and longevity, and most importantly, should you be eating eggs? Because the real answer is far more surprising than most people realize. Let's crack this open. Section 1. Why eggs became so controversial. 045, 3 IAS. Eggs were once considered one of the healthiest foods available, cheap, nutrient-dense. Filling, easy to cook. For generations, eggs were breakfast. Then everything changed in the mid-20th century. Researchers discovered that people with heart disease often had higher cholesterol levels. Around the same time, scientists noticed egg yolks contained cholesterol. That led to a simple conclusion. Eggs contain cholesterol. High cholesterol is linked to heart disease. Therefore, eggs must cause heart disease. And for decades, that idea shaped nutrition guidelines. People were told to eat no more than 3 eggs a week. Restaurants pushed egg white omelets. Supermarkets sold cholesterol-free products. An entire generation grew up fearing the yolk. But here's the problem. The science was incomplete. Researchers later learned that the cholesterol you eat and the cholesterol in your bloodstream are not the same thing. Your liver makes cholesterol every day. In fact, your body carefully regulates it. When you eat more cholesterol, many people naturally produce less. That changed everything, because suddenly eggs were no longer the obvious villain, and modern science began asking a more intelligent question. Instead of, do eggs contain cholesterol? The real question became, how do eggs affect actual human health outcomes? Heart attacks, stroke, diabetes, weight, longevity, inflammation. That's where the conversation gets interesting, because eggs are one of the most misunderstood foods in nutrition history. Section 2, what's inside an egg? A 3 C's, 6 C's. Before judging eggs, we need to understand what they are. An egg is designed by nature to support life. That means it contains nearly everything needed for growth and development. One large egg has roughly 6 to 7 grams of high-quality protein, healthy fats, vitamin B12, choline, selenium, riboflavin, vitamin D, lutein, zeaxanthin, iron folate, and only about 70 calories. That nutrient density is extraordinary. Now let's talk protein. Egg protein is considered one of the highest quality proteins available because it contains all 9 essential amino acids your body needs. That means egg support, muscle repair, hormone production, immune function, enzyme activity, satiety, but eggs offer something even more overlooked, choline. Most people have never heard of it, yet choline is essential for brain function, memory, nerve signaling, liver health cell, membrane structure, and many people don't get enough. Egg yolks are one of the richest sources. Then there are the carotenoids, lutein, and zeaxanthin, antioxidants linked to eye health and protection against age-related vision decline. So when someone throws away the yolk, they're discarding many of the most valuable nutrients. The white gives you protein. The yolk gives you nutrition depth. This matters because health isn't just calories. It's what those calories do. And eggs punch far above their weight. Section 3, the cholesterol question, 6 or 10 chows. Now let's address the biggest fear, cholesterol. One egg yolk contains around 180 to 200 milligrams of cholesterol. That sounds alarming. But dietary cholesterol affects people differently. For many healthy individuals, eating eggs has only a modest effect on blood cholesterol. Why? Because your liver adapts. When cholesterol intake rises, internal production often falls. This doesn't happen perfectly in everyone, but it happens in many people. And there's another layer most people miss. Not all cholesterol particles behave the same. LDL is often called bad cholesterol, but LDL itself has subtypes. Small, dense LDL particles are generally considered more concerning than larger, fluffier LDL particles. Some studies suggest eggs may raise LDL slightly in certain people, but may also increase HDL, the so-called good cholesterol. and shift particle size in a more favorable direction. Translation: the headline number doesn't tell the whole story. That said, individual response matters. Some people are hyper-responders. They may experience larger cholesterol increases from dietary cholesterol. Others barely respond at all. This is why personalized nutrition beats internet arguments. If you eat eggs regularly, the smartest move is not fear. It's testing. Know your lipids. Know your ApoB if possible. Know your triglycerides. Know your insulin sensitivity. Data beats assumptions. Because eggs aren't universally dangerous, but they're not universally neutral either. Your biology decides. Section 4. Do eggs cause heart disease? Tatsui 14 Su. This is where nuance matters most. Large observational studies in many populations have found that moderate egg consumption is often not associated with increased heart disease risk in healthy individuals. That's important. For many people, eating around 1 egg per day appears compatible with cardiovascular health, but context changes everything. If eggs are eaten alongside processed meats, sugary breakfast foods, refined breads, smoking, sedentary lifestyle, excess calories, then eggs may appear in unhealthy patterns. That doesn't necessarily mean eggs caused the damage. It may mean the lifestyle did. Think about a typical breakfast plate: bacon, sausage, hash browns, white toast, sugary coffee drink. Then eggs get blamed. That's nutritional guilt by association. Now compare that with eggs cooked in olive oil, vegetables, avocado, berries, whole grains. Same eggs, different health environment. This is one of the biggest mistakes in nutrition. We isolate one ingredient and ignore the pattern. Disease risk is usually built by systems, not single foods. Could eggs be excessive for some people? Yes. Could they fit beautifully into a heart-healthy diet? Also yes. That's why black and white thinking fails. The question is rarely, are eggs good or bad? The real question is, what role do eggs play in the total picture of your diet and metabolism? Section 5, Eggs and Weight Loss, 14 Psycher, 18 Sakurer. If you're trying to lose weight, eggs may be one of the smartest foods available. Why? Because eggs create satiety. They help you feel full. Protein and fat together slow digestion, stabilize hunger, and reduce the urge to snack. Studies have shown that high-protein breakfasts can reduce calorie intake later in the day. That matters because many people don't overeat due to hunger alone. They overeat because they start the day with blood sugar chaos, sugary cereal, pastries, sweet coffee drinks. That leads to spikes, crashes, cravings, more snacking. Eggs can interrupt that cycle. Imagine 2 breakfasts. Breakfast A, donut and sweet latte. Breakfast B, eggs with spinach and avocado. Which one keeps you satisfied longer? For most people, breakfast B wins. Eggs also preserve lean muscle during weight loss when paired with exercise and adequate protein intake. That's critical, because losing scale weight without preserving muscle can slow metabolism. However, preparation still matters. Deep-fried eggs, loaded with processed meats, and excess calories won't magically create weight loss. Eggs are helpful. They are not magic. Use them as part of a high-protein, whole food strategy. That's where results happen. Section 6. Eggs and muscle building, 18 Warks, 21 Bois. Athletes and bodybuilders have loved eggs for generations, and for good reason. Eggs provide leucine, an amino acid that helps trigger muscle protein synthesis. That's the process of repairing and building muscle tissue after training. Whole eggs may offer an advantage over egg whites alone. Why? Because nutrients in the yolk may support the body's anabolic response. In plain English, the whole egg may work better than isolated protein. This is one reason old school lifters relied on whole eggs. Now, if you need extra protein without extra calories, egg whites can be useful. But for many active adults, whole eggs provide a more complete package. They're portable, affordable, versatile, and effective, especially when paired with resistance training. No supplement required. Sometimes the simplest foods outperform expensive powders. Section 7. Eggs and Brain Health, 21 Xiao, 24 Xiaos. One of the most underrated reasons to eat eggs is brain support. Remember choline? This nutrient is used to make acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter involved in memory, attention, and learning. Your brain depends on efficient communication. Choline helps support that. Pregnancy is another important area. Choline plays a role in fetal brain development. Many prenatal conversations focus on folate, and rightly so, but choline deserves attention too. Eggs are one of the richest natural sources. Then there's B12, another nutrient tied to neurological health. Deficiency can affect energy, mood, and cognition. For older adults especially, nutrient-dense foods become increasingly valuable. The brain ages. Nutrition matters more, not less. Can eggs prevent dementia on their own? No single food can promise that. But can eggs contribute valuable nutrients to a brain-supportive lifestyle? Absolutely, especially when combined with exercise, sleep, social connection, blood sugar control, and anti-inflammatory foods. Section 8, what about diabetes? 24-28 seg. Eggs and diabetes create mixed headlines. Some studies have linked higher egg consumption with type 2 diabetes risk in certain populations. Others have found neutral or beneficial outcomes when eggs replace refined carbohydrates. So what explains the contradiction? Again, context. If eggs are eaten inside a Western diet high in processed foods, sugar, and low fiber, associations may look negative. If eggs replace sugary breakfasts and support blood sugar stability, outcomes may improve. For many people with insulin resistance, a breakfast centered around protein and fiber can be superior to cereal or toast. Eggs can be part of that. But individuals with diabetes should pay close attention to the total pattern. Fiber intake, body weight, sleep stress, physical activity, medication plan, lipid markers. No single food overrides poor metabolic habits. Yet smart food swaps matter. Replacing junk with real food is powerful. Eggs can help if they're part of the right system. Section 9. How many eggs per day is safe? 28 cause 32 choice. This is the question everyone asks. How many eggs can I eat? There is no one number answer for every human, but here's a practical framework. For many healthy people, 1 egg per day often fits comfortably into a balanced diet. Some people do well with more, especially active individuals with excellent metabolic health. Others may need moderation, especially if they have familial hypercholesterolemia, elevated ApoB, existing cardiovascular disease, poor insulin sensitivity, strong lipid response to eggs. This is where self-awareness matters. If you're eating 4 eggs daily and your markers worsen, that matters. If you eat eggs several times weekly and labs remain strong, that matters too. Nutrition should be evidence-based and body-based, not ideology-based. The smartest strategy? Use eggs as one protein source among many. Rotate with fish, Greek yogurt, beans, lentils, tofu, poultry, nuts, seeds. Variety builds resilience. Monotony often creates blind spots. Section 10, best way to cook eggs. 32, 36 hours. How you cook eggs can change their health impact. Best methods often include boiled, poached, soft scrambled, lightly pan-cooked. These preserve nutrition without excessive added fats or burned oils. Less ideal methods, deep frying. Cooking in repeatedly heated oils. Pairing with processed meats daily, also watch what goes with the eggs. A vegetable omelet with mushrooms, onions, spinach, herbs, and olive oil? Excellent. Egg sandwich on ultra-processed bread with bacon and sugary sauce every morning? Different story. Food synergy matters. Eggs are team players. Choose their teammates wisely. Section 11, who should be cautious? 36 here, 40 were. Even healthy foods aren't universal. Some people should be more careful with eggs. First, people with egg allergies, especially children, though some outgrow it. Second, people with strong personal cholesterol responses. If eggs spike your LDL, ApoB, or worsen key markers, respect the data. Third, people whose egg habits include unhealthy patterns. If eggs trigger overeating fast food breakfasts, the issue may be behavior as much as biology. Fourth, people who rely on eggs so heavily they crowd out diversity. Remember, health thrives on range. No food should become your entire nutritional identity. Section 12. The biggest myths about eggs, 40 crowns, 45 crowns. Let's destroy the myths. Myth 1, eggs automatically clog arteries. False. Heart disease is far more complex than one food. Myth 2, egg whites are always healthier. Not necessarily. The yolk contains many vital nutrients. Myth 3, you can eat unlimited eggs. Also false. Dose and context still matter. Myth 4, eggs are bad because they contain fat. Fat is not the enemy. Quality and metabolic context matter more. Myth 5, if one study says eggs are bad, case closed. Science evolves. Single studies don't settle nutrition debates. Patterns of evidence matter. Section 13, what drives long-term health more than eggs? 45, 50 hour. People obsess over eggs while ignoring bigger threats. Here are factors that matter more than whether you eat eggs: smoking chronic, overeating, sedentary lifestyle, poor sleep, high stress, ultra-processed food intake, excess visceral fat, social isolation, high blood pressure, uncontrolled blood sugar. You could remove eggs completely and still be unhealthy. You could include eggs wisely and be very healthy. That perspective matters. Nutrition drama gets clicks. Lifestyle consistency creates results. Section 14. So, should you eat eggs? 50 hour, 55 hour? Here's the honest answer. For many people, yes, eggs can be a nutrient-rich, satisfying, affordable food that supports muscle, brain health, satiety, and overall nutrition. For some people, moderation is wiser. For others with specific conditions, caution or personalization is necessary. The real answer isn't found in fear. It's found in biomarkers, context, and total diet quality. Eggs are not angels. Eggs are not villains. They are tools. Use them intelligently. Final takeaway: 55 wine, 58 swine. If you remember only one thing from this video, remember this: health is rarely determined by a single food. It's built by patterns repeated daily. If eggs help you eat more protein, feel satisfied, maintain muscle, stabilize breakfast, and nourish your body, they may be a powerful ally. If they worsen your labs or crowd out better choices, adjust accordingly. That's real nutrition. Not dogma, not fear, not headlines, just science applied wisely. And maybe that's the real truth about eggs. Outro CTA 58 dar end. What's your experience with eggs? Do you eat them every day, avoid them completely, or still feel confused by the mixed advice? Comment below. And if you want more evidence-based videos on foods that heal, prevent disease, and upgrade your health naturally, subscribe now, because the next thing you eat may be more powerful than you think.